Hey everybody, in this video we are graphing the cosine function you see on the screen right now, y equals -3 cosine of the quantity pi over 3x minus 3 pi. We will be finding the amplitude, period, phase shift, and then graphing one period of the function. This is number 17 on a playlist of pre-calculus final exam review material. So let's get into it. First of all, the amplitude. The amplitude is the absolute value of A. A is your vertical stretch or compression. So the amplitude is 3. The period in this situation, it's a cosine function, and the formula is period equals 2 pi over B. Now the B value we can find in front of the x or theta. I could factor it out if some people prefer. -3 cosine pi over 3 is the B. And then if I undistribute that, you're really dividing by pi over 3 to pull it out. 3 pi divided by pi over 3 is the same as 3 pi dividing by a fraction is the same as multiplying by the reciprocal. So those pi's would cross out, and 3 times 3 is 9. So that's what we were working with right over there. I'm just going to erase this to save space. And actually I'm going to add over here plus 0 just to clearly indicate that. So back to the B value. So the B value is pi over 3, and similar to what we just did, that means we're doing 2 pi divided by pi over 3, which is the same as 3 over pi being multiplied by the reciprocal. These cross out, and that means that the period for this particular function would be 6. While we're here, even though this is not asking for it at the moment, a quarter period is going to be 1/4 of the period. 6 over 4, which means quarter period is 3 over 2, or, oh, I'm out of sight over here, hold on. There we go. A little squished, but we made it. So a quarter period is 3 over 2, and that is the distance between each of the 5 tick marks. They basically, Q represents a quadrant, but after it has been stretched, compressed, yada, yada, yada. Okay, and lastly, we have the phase shift. And the phase shift is basically our left or right, so it's going to be plus 9, if you want to think of it that way, or 9 to the right there, and with a common denominator of 2, that 9 can be also thought of as 18 over 2 if we want. So my first tick mark is going to be 18 over 2. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add 3 over 2 to get the rest of the tick marks. That makes this 21 over 2, another 3 over 2, 24 over 2, 27 over 2, and then lastly would be then 30 over 2. I could reduce some of them, but I really don't need to. Plus 0, I'm just kind of going in a random order here. That is your midline, 0. That means that our midline is the x-axis. There is 0. So that is the x-axis, y equals 0, midline, or also known as sinusoidal axis. So we have that. We said the amplitude was 3. So that means this is 3 and that is -3 because I'm adding them to 0. So it's really 0 plus 3, 0 minus 3, which in this case is 3 and -3, right? So -3 and +3. Now this is a negative cosine. What is the shape of cosine? To get the shape of cosine, what can we do? Where can I fit this? Just thinking about the unit circle. Cosine is the x value. What does x equal over here? 1 unit to the right. Well, if you said 1, you're a genius. Then it's 0, then it's -1, then it's 0, then it's 1 again. So a positive cosine wave, 1 up, 0, -1, 0, 1. So a positive cosine wave would have this shape to it. Don't make it look like a V. However, this is not a positive cosine wave. It is negative. So it would have a vertical reflection. So the entire thing would be flipped vertically, and we could maybe describe it as being upside down. Sorry, this is getting a little lumpy. I'm going to try to draw it a little bit nicer for everybody. Do not draw this like it's going down. That is like, it absolutely makes me crazy. That is so bad. That is actually the most wrong thing you could do. Maybe if it was a polynomial, sure, but this is a cosine wave. It's a periodic function. The same wave is going to repeat forever, ever, ever, and ever. Okay. Everything is labeled. I found all the things that we asked for. If I was drawing in my X and Y axis, I mean, technically that's my X axis. Your Y axis, if I do a little, oh, I wouldn't do it there, I guess. You have a little breaky break, and then you have your Y axis over here. And you start counting, this is at the 18/2, da, 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 and so on. But I labeled my grid, you know, underneath, out of the way a bit, and that is plenty fine. And like I said, that is your x-axis, sinusoidal in the middle, blah, and blah, and blah, blah. Okay? So that is in a nutshell graphing cosine. Check the description box for more. If you're happy and you love it, thumbs it up. If not, thumbs down. Check the playlist, check the description box, all that good stuff. Questions, comments, concerns, feedback, requests, go in the comment section. And that's it for now. Adios.